We are nearing the end of the year, so it's time to look at my portfolio and how it has performed. We're gonna look at what trades did well, what trades were really bad, because I've built a tool that can analyze your year in terms of what asset classes did well and which underperformed. Here is my portfolio, so I'm up 9.29% on the year, and my allocation into assets is 90% stocks right now, 7.3% into ETFs. That's mainly commodities like gold, silver, palladium, and then also crypto, which is 2% of the portfolio right now. Actually, I'm usually a bit higher in crypto, but since Bitcoin has been a bit bearish lately, I've reduced my allocation. So let's look at the tool I've built, which you can find in the Vibe Hub when you go to the trade analysis on my Vibe Trade app from eToro. And first, what you will see is some kind of AI benchmark analysis. So it's gonna generate its own benchmark comparing to my portfolio. It knows I have mainly stocks comparing with 10% crypto, because I'm usually more allocated into crypto. So it's gonna show you how my portfolio, the blue line, is performing against the benchmark, and right now I am outperforming that benchmark. So I'm still working on it to get it fine-tuned, but that's currently a tool that I'm working on. Now let's start looking at the top performers. So we had Solana trades that did really well. We had Palantir, where I took profits. Bitcoin, of course. I had my Google trades and also Ethereum trades that had a lot of impact on the portfolio. The worst performers are my altcoin trades because, as you know, crypto this year wasn't really that exciting. We had a lot of attention going to Bitcoin, but the altcoin space remained a bit weaker. So I tried to trade XRP, I tried to trade Radium, I tried to trade Cardano, and those were losers. Then I also cut loss on a stock called Estee Lauder. In my opinion, it was better to allocate it into commodities like silver, gold, which now are doing really good. So it's also showing the top individual trades. You can see that Bitcoin, Ethereum, Palantir are my top trades, and then for voice trades, it's currently ADA, Ethereum, and Radium. So those are individual trades. Unrealized P&L, that means it's gonna look at my portfolio and what assets are currently doing good without having to close the trade, but it's looking at the demo portfolio. So it's better to go to my portfolio here and look at what's doing good. So we have Palantir, of course, still active. Google, which I actually took a bit of profits because the allocation was bigger than 10%, and I prefer it to keep it below 10%. We have Booking with 200% gains. I also took some profits on Booking. Nvidia has a high allocation, but I do think from the Mac 7 perspective, it's not that overvalued compared to some other ones. Meta had a big drop and I added some allocation. The open positions is still up 120% and so on. So that's something I need to adjust for the unrealized P&L active tab. And of course, I can go look at individual stocks for my portfolio, what performed well, what did not perform well, or just look by ticker. So that's a nice tool that I'm working on to see how your year went, and what could have been done better, what have you done good in the past. I think personally, I had a few bad trades on altcoins, of course. So I did assume this year was going to be a bullish year for altcoins, and I was too deterministic about it. Now I was able to shift a bit more to the bearish sides and reduce my allocation, and invested that capital more into assets like gold, silver, and palladium. As you can see, gold is actually up 28% here. So gold up 28%. Then we have silver, which is up 72%, almost 73%. I also had palladium, which is up 42.40%. I was trying to buy copper, but on eToro there is no ETF I can buy. Since I'm in Belgium, of course, there are some restrictions to buy um, ETFs. And also, if you can see at some of the losers, the recent losers, we have PepsiCo, we have Coca-Cola, Procter and Gamble, and also the consumer staples ETF. So I bought the consumer staples ETF because it's currently very undervalued compared to the S&P. This is more like a trade I'm taking for next year, how I'm positioning myself, because I did the same with healthcare actually. When healthcare was very undervalued compared to the S&P, I went a bit harder into healthcare, and that has recovered since. And now I'm doing the same with the consumer staples ETF. So the individual stocks are PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Procter and Gamble, but you could also invest in Costco or Walmart. Those are great companies as well. I was just looking at their charts and they looked a bit parabolic in my opinion. So that's why I took these trades. So going into 2026 for me means going a bit more defensive. I'm expecting a Q1 correction because the market has rallied so much. Of course, I'm not going to try to time this. You can see that I have zero cash, so I'm fully allocated into stocks. I'm just a bit more defensive, so I sold some of my tech allocations, not all, just took some profits and put them in more defensive stocks like the consumer staples because I am anticipating a bounce in that category. I still think that the healthcare sector is going to do well, so I'm looking at individual stocks like UNH. Where is UNH? Here. So I'm still down 6% on UNH. I have opened two trades on UNH. Of course, the first one was before the big drop after all the bad news came about their CEO being murdered, and then the news about being fraudulent. So now I added positions. Even Warren Buffett added positions, but I'm still bullish on the stock. Of course, it's one of my favorite stocks, UNH. And I think Adobe is the one I have the most doubt. So Adobe, I'm using a lot of Google Gemini Nano Banana, and I'm editing images very easily myself. But of course, Adobe is more than just editing images. It's integrated in a lot of courses for even universities, and their white mode remains, and the earnings keep growing. So I'm not looking to close this position because it's just short-term headwinds, in my opinion. People are scared that they're gonna take over Adobe with AI, but Adobe is actually using a lot of AI themselves, and being able to edit images more in detail by clicking on where you need to adjust the image, etc. So for me personally, Adobe is still a hold in the portfolio. As for the rest, I am looking at yeah, adding maybe some Broadcom, because I wanted to add it last year or this year actually, but the problem was it was already overvalued. So I'm gonna watch Broadcom to see if it can become a bit more undervalued for me to add to the portfolio. And for crypto, of course, if Bitcoin is heading into a bear market, I assume that the bear market is going to be ending somewhere mid 2026 until the end of 2026. So that's where I am planning to add more allocation into crypto again, unless it can prove that the bull market resumes. But for now, yeah, my position is just one I opened in when was it, August, and the market has been down. Most of my positions are closed, obviously, from buying Bitcoin when it was around 20K. But I also always want to hold a bit of my allocation to crypto, just yeah, to remain allocated to the crypto space actually. But no altcoins, because if Bitcoin is heading into a bear market, altcoins are going to lose more in the short term. Of course, when things turn, I'm gonna allocate a bit more into altcoins and Bitcoin. The one I'm looking the most is Ethereum actually, because it could be yeah, an altcoin that can decouple from Bitcoin. So that's the one I'm going to watch the most for 2026. So yeah, that's a bit of review of my portfolio. Also looking at what trades did well, what trades didn't really do well. So the altcoin trades, and the individual trades is also fun to see how you performed the year. That's it for today. I'm gonna work a bit more on the benchmark, of course, to have it more personalized. And yeah, if you have questions about it or feedback, do let me know, and we can talk about adjusting things in terms of your needs. Thank you for watching. Bye.